Hi, I'm David Dusek for Golfweek, and coming out of the 2022 Masters, there are really two big storylines that caught most people's attention. Number one, Scottie Scheffler solidified his position as the world #1 player by winning his first major championship. And number two, Tiger Woods returned after 14 months and was able to make the cut at Augusta National. Now, ironically, the irons that Scottie Scheffler used were made by TaylorMade specifically for Tiger Woods. This is the TaylorMade P-7TW iron, which looks very similar to the TaylorMade P-730. Now, many people may not understand what the differences are between the iron that's made specifically for Tiger Woods and the standard P-730, which is found in many PGA Tour and LPGA Tour players' bags. So I'm here to break it down for you. Now, both of these clubs are forged from 1025 carbon steel for a very soft feel, and both of them also have a face and a hitting area that has been milled, and the grooves in that face are also milled. That's for precision. Now, both of these golf clubs have an exceptionally thin top line, very little offset. The P-7TW is a few millimeters longer in blade length, but you'd really have to be looking at them side by side to be able to pick that up. That said, there are really two main differences between the P-7TW and the P-730, one of which you can see, one of which you cannot see. Now, the big difference that you can see is on the very bottom of the golf club. You'll notice that the P-730 has a smooth sole, but on the sole of the P-7TW, there are a series of lines going back and forth. Now, those lines are made by a high-speed milling machine going back and forth across the bottom of the sole so that the geometry of the sole, the curvature, if you will, the camber, and also the bounce are made precisely to Tiger Woods specifications every single time. TaylorMade spent a lot of time working on turf interaction and working on the configuration of the sole with Tiger. And once they were able to get it, they wanted to be able to replicate it without using any hand grinding. Hand grinding potentially creates small, subtle differences from one club to another. And with Tiger Woods, that is not an option. So they entered in all the information that they needed, put it into a computer, and the computer controls the high-speed bit that goes back and forth across here. So every one of the P-7TW iron soles is exactly the way that Tiger Woods wants it to be. The other difference in the P-7TW, the one that you can't see, is that there's a small slug of tungsten that's positioned right about here, which is right behind where Tiger Woods and any good player is going to be making contact with the ball. Now, you can't see it because the chrome on the back of it is going to be covering up that tungsten. Now, typically, when golf equipment makers use tungsten, because it's such a dense and heavy material, they put it out into the heel and sometimes into the toe area, and that creates more perimeter weighting without adding size to a golf club, so it becomes more forgiving. When you put tungsten and add more mass directly behind where a player is going to be making contact with the ball, it enhances feel, especially for better players. It creates a more solid, a heavier sort of feel, which most accomplished and good ball strikers really tend to prefer. That's going to be the big difference between Scottie Scheffler and Tiger Woods P-7TW and the standard issue P-730. Now look, if you're looking for forgiveness, if you're looking for an iron that's going to give you more power, more distance, you can look someplace else. Obviously, these golf clubs, both of them, are designed for elite ball strikers, people with a very powerful, repeatable swing. If you need more help from your irons in the TaylorMade lineup, look for the Stealth or maybe give a try to the P-790s. But if you've got a repeatable swing, if you're somebody who's maybe going to be contending in your club championship, you're an aspiring junior or collegiate player, and you want a feel-oriented iron, you might want to talk to a good custom fitter about the P-7TW or the P-730 from TaylorMade.